figuring things out as we do every time. I don't know why, as we do every time. Know what we do every. Oh, hi! I'm Jay Jones,
Pixel guy Sean.
and we are the Pixelated Men.
Man.
Welcome into yet another session of us talking about things and such.
Whoop, whoop.
It is, as of this recording, we are also live. It is December 2nd, 2023. So this is our 2023 season finale.
In the year of our Lord 2023.
In the year of our Lord, 2023. Um, we were supposed to wait. We were waiting patiently for Cody as we usually do. We told him we were going to do this. Did we not?
Yeah, yeah, well. He'll join or he won't. Either way.
You know he'll join like an hour in. Anyway,
Like with the rest of ourselves.
yeah. Um, Meantime, um, Sean,
Yeah.
what are we talking about this time?
Well, somebody dropped a very interesting YouTube video I saw this last month. I wouldn't want to say yesterday because I saw like a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Anyways, it was called 99 Problems with AEW. Both of us being avid wrestling fans and current AEW watchers, I figured we could do a live reaction to this to see get your initial thoughts on it, and I wanted to express my thoughts on it. And then if Cody joins and wants to talk, we can go a little bit back into our childhood.
Long time ago in the days of year.
Yep, but not you always. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
Absolutely. All right, so I had the video queued up here. Wait, hold on. We had this problem last time. Uh,
Oh, I'm not sure if Katie's got really quiet or he cut herself off. But at any rate, there's some life coming back to Jay.
Well, while he figures that out, yes. So this
there we
goes
go.
into. Oh, there we go. Sorry,
Sorry, I
I had to.
accident. The reason I was figuring that out was because I accidentally, um, we figured out last night or the night before that, uh, hold on. There we go. We figured out on Thursday night that I didn't have y'all's audio, like the Discord
Oh,
audio. So that whole intro didn't happen.
well,
Well,
good. There's a lot of awkward pauses.
well, no, it happened. It just heard me only.
Well, super. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Good.
Care to get that intro one more try?
Yeah, we'll just edit that whole part out.
Yeah. With editing magic, you won't hear what just happened the first, I don't know,
Yeah, we've only been doing
uh,
about 5.
5 minutes. So let's try that again. And I'm Jay Jones.
Thanks, guys, Sean.
And we are
We are
the Pixelated
Pixelated
Men.
Men.
Hi there.
How you doing?
How are you? You look nice. Except for you. Clean yourself up.
You got a good aura.
Match your aura with how you look. Come on. Work with us. Work with us. Come on. Anyway, Cody will join us or he won't join us. Who knows? Um, Sean?
Yeah.
Sean, what are we talking about?
Oh, very interesting video dropped on YouTube, and it was called 99 Problems with AEW Wrestling. And both of us being avid wrestling watchers, and both currently enjoying AEW, I figured we can live react to it, get your initial thoughts on it, my thoughts I wanted to say about it out. And if Cody joins us, we can go a little bit back into this nostalgia world.
Well, shit. All right, then we can definitely go ahead and do that.
All right.
Now, as you can see, for those of you watching live, I have it queued up here. For those of you listening on audio, you'll exclusively hear it on Patreon much earlier than you'll hear it on YouTube, or sorry, on the podcast platform of your choice. Um, but we'll narrate a bit. I think this is more a voiceover thing, is it not?
It's got some pictures, but it's mainly just a voiceover thing. It's not very visual. It's just like, here's a picture with the problem, and he talks about it a little bit. I
Number
can't see. I
one.
can't see your stream, by the way, Jay.
What do you mean?
I
Oh,
can't.
that's right. I'm not sharing in the Discord.
Yeah, it's like, am I supposed to watch it in a 30-second delay? You so silly, Jay. You so silly. Huzzah! All right, jjlunfiltered, number one.
Number one.
Signing the Edge or Adam Copeland.
All right, let's get into these because there's 99 of them, and
Well,
whew.
it's only 13 minutes, but yeah, I imagine we'll be talking more than he does. So,
All right, guy. Who's this guy? Age
this
of
is
Wrestling.
wrestling. Yep.
Number one.
1. Signing Edge to AEW was not a great decision because his presence does very little to sell tickets or boost the ratings. 2. Signing Ric Flair to AEW in a multi-year deal doesn't make any sense considering he's almost 75 years old and brings very little value to the product.
Pause it, Jay. All right, so we can talk about these two. All right. Now, I don't totally agree with what he said about Signing Edge, that he doesn't bring anything to the ticket sales or ratings. I do believe he does, but I also think they're not using him to his full effectiveness. I'm not sure. It's just maybe because Edge can't go like he used to in 2010, with how his body is aged. But that's what WWE was doing, and like, I didn't mind him being in a storyline with Christian when he first got here, but now it seems like it's going on too long, and there's too many people involved with the Adam Copeland story.
Honestly, they need a solid program with Edge.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Adam Copeland.
Yeah,
Like
you ain't gonna call Igor.
they need a solid program with him, and personally, um, I think that I personally think that if you're not gonna let him go for the TNT title, he needs to he needs a true rivalry. He needs there's a lot of guys in the back that don't have that spotlight,
Right.
right? Find a guy that looks at Edge and says, "You know what? I could make my ground on this guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and I'm going to see something in the vein of Sting, like having him mentor somebody, because Sting knows he can't go like he used to back in the 80s, 90s. So he's letting Darby Allin carry most of that weight, and he comes in every once in a while to have that showcase match. They're using Sting the way they're supposed to be using Sting. Like, he's there for marketability. He's there. He's not trying to overstay his welcome. He's not trying to overshadow anybody. He's just like, hey, I'm here to help Darby Allin. I'm signed off on this kid as a future star, and we have a match twice a year with each other. So, don't say twice, but it's always, you can count on your hands how many matches Sting's had this year. And I think if Edge / Adam Copeland is in the same position, like, he can't have a 300 or 200 working day year wrestling body, like, he can't do it anymore, then yeah, find him a star in the back who's not getting any TV time, or like your Action Andretti, or somebody. Well, I want to say Jericho's Society. Like, I can see him and Sammy Guevara as like a heel version of Sting and Darby Allin. Like, so like, if he can't be on that next level where he can be a champion, or he can showcase his abilities every day, then yeah, surely let him mentor one of the AEW stars who needs a push, because they're only so high up in the AEW card, and they're not getting that push. They're not getting that limelight where they're on TV every week, where
Yeah.
you see them, where they're not associated with the brand. Let somebody else come back. Hey, this guy tag teams with Edge now, or Edge comes and helps this guy, and so he must be good.
Yeah, definitely get someone who's there but needs that extra boost.
Right, yeah. Now, that being said, that's the complete it's the complete opposite of my feelings on Ric Flair. I don't think Ric Flair brings anything to the table.
Yeah, no, it-
Yep. Yeah, the opinions are soured on him, and he wrestled his last match, and he literally barely lived through that. And now AEW is putting him on multiple year contracts,
he
and like,
he he has an energy drink.
yeah, now, which is part of that contract, I assume, because it's sponsored.
Sean, 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 when we go
Mm,
go to the event on the 23rd, we should just we need to do a review of the Woo energy drink.
yeah, that's even if I'd be surprised if they sold it. Jesus.
we we could we could do like a fake ass commercial And I
Jeez.
just imagine it. No, wait. Just imagine it. I open the can and I drink a little bit. I go, and I'm like, woo! I just automatically just like, woo, woo. I just don't stop wooing, and you're just like, well, that's woo energy for you.
Yeah.
And that's just the commercial.
Jeez.
just like just like a bullshit woo energy commercial. Woo energy gives you unlimited woos.
There you go. But yeah, it's just like,
Oh man.
yeah.
Oh, I needed that one.
And then I always get his name wrong, but his son-in-law, um, Andrade, like he doesn't even. I don't. He's been speculated not to be with AEW much longer. So you have a multi-year contract, but a guy whose only ties to AEW now are Sting and his son-in-law, who may be
Andrade
leaving.
el ídolo.
Yep. So it's like you have all, you have all, you sign him to his multi-year contract, and when he has very little, bringing very little other than he's Ric Flair, but his name doesn't carry its weight like it used to, especially
Yeah,
since everybody knows how much of a pest he is.
gotta pay down them debts, man.
Yep. So, but well, I guess if Ric Flair is gonna die of a heart attack at AEW, I guess that's cool with them. All right, onward on the video.
Also doesn't help that he has a very shady past. 3. Tony Khan chastised Vince McMahon for being a sexual abuser, but then signs Ric Flair, who also has been outed as a sexual
We just
abuser, to
talked about that.
AEW.
Yep.
This is selective morality. 4. Tony Khan banned Hulk Hogan from AEW due to his racist past, but then allows Sabu to be on AEW TV, even though he
Who
has
also
said
said
some
the
very
N-word.
racist things. 5. Allowing Paul White to be a physical threat on AEW doesn't make sense because
Alright,
the man
pause.
can barely move anymore.
All right, your thoughts on Paul White, Big Show Giant Wrestling in 2023?
Why?
Yeah, like I know he loves it, like because wrestling to all of them is kind of like an addiction. That's why Ric Flair is still doing it. They all have the not just the attention, but the fanfare and doing all of that, and all of it. The showmanship, to being out there in front of the crowds, being a showman. Yeah, I love doing that. So I get it, but yeah, it's like when they first brought him and he didn't wrestle in that first year or two when they first got him to come there. I was like, I knew he wasn't in shape anymore. And granted, it looks like he's in somewhat of a shape, but yeah, his knees are starting to buckle. You can tell that. It's just like I'm glad they didn't use him much in that street fight they had the other
Mm-hmm.
week on AEW, because who knows if he had to do if he had to carry some of that match by himself. But yeah, it's just like just let the man Paul just enjoy your retirement, enjoy being able to walk around, because yeah, granted he's not in the same shape as Andre the Giant, but yeah, that giganticism, no large heart, does a that does a number on your body to begin with. You don't need other factors helping you. So he doesn't need to be trying to keep up with 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds in a wrestling ring when he's just trying to live his best life and not die.
Yeah. Let him sit at the commentary table. He's good.
Yeah,
Let him do other shit. He's good.
like
Um,
he's a lot better at commentary than he was 10 years ago,
yeah.
or hell, 15. Yeah, just let him. And he's been a nice addition back when Dark was still a thing.
Oh my god, the banter between the commentary people on AEW is just hilarious.
Yeah, because like I think they usually don't do the emergency mic off button unless they need a cough or anything like that. So you just hear the natural thought process.
It's
You know,
hilarious.
yeah, calling each other out on stuff.
And then Botchamania just has just a beautiful fodder, just of them just like insipid Taz commentary.
Oh yeah, because Taz has been doing it since 2005, and sometimes ever since then, sometimes he has days where he just doesn't make any sense.
And sometimes he just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's been one of the running commentaries on. That's been one of the running jokes on Botchamanias almost since its inception. That was Dusty Rhodes, and first there's Dusty Rhodes. He did the because Dusty Rhodes used to have weird commentary, and then when that well kind of ran dry, that's when Taz was at his most Tazzy on SmackDowns, and so yeah, and then it became Taz commentary, and it's been a running joke ever since, and that's been at least since 2007 or 8 or something like that. Well, let's see. Well, I think Botchamania probably started around. Yeah, it had to have been like 8 or 9, 08 or 09, and then first couple of years was Dusty Rhodes, and then yeah, so let's say 2010. So 13 years of this Taz commentary on Botchamania.
Weighing 248 pounds, Taz. It's Taz.
Yep, and it's always been that Oompa Loompa intro, and then now
Now
that
the cartoon or the animated little.
yeah picture of him, which is getting around. I, I saw that on Reddit somewhere in a non-wrestling capacity. So I assume whoever that was is a fan of wrestling and it's had a picture of the cartoon Taz. But yeah, he's getting around.
All right, let's
All
see
right.
what we got here.
He looks like he's permanently doing the stanky leg. 6. Signing Jeff Hardy to AEW was not the greatest move. He has
Jeff
proved to be
Hardy.
more of a liability through his DUI arrest, and
Yeah.
he doesn't move the needle like how he used to. 7.
Yeah.
Over-relying on older stars is a common thing in
And
AEW,
that's
as
kinda
there's a constant
what
presence
we've
and
been talking
emphasis on
about.
stars
Yeah,
that
a
are
few pods.
Yeah.
We got Paul White, Jericho, Sting, Edge, Ric Flair, Jeff Jarrett, Billy Gunn, and RVD. All who get multi promos and matches throughout the 3 hour I guess it's 4 hour programming of AEW week. 2 hours of Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. Or it's Collision 2 hours.
Collision's 2 hours. Dynamite's
So
2 hours. Rampage is an hour. So
so 5.
5 hours. Yeah.
So yeah, so all these guys, except for Paul White, get multiple spots or promos over 5 hours.
Yeah.
Well, programming, and AEW's already got it, and they've inflated roster.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They really
I
need
still
to
don't.
bring out the younger stars.
Yeah, like I would even put Jay Lethal as in there, and even Samoa Joe. Like, granted, Samoa Joe's keeping some of the main event stats alive, in AEW. But yeah, it's just like people have joked that AEW is 2011's Impact TNA Wrestling, which
Ooh, ooh, shots fired. Damn. Oh, damn. Bazinga, bazinga. Shots fired. Bang, 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 bang.
well, you look at it, you got Jeff Jarrett, Samoa Joe, Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Billy Gunn,
Mm-hmm.
RVD,
Mm-hmm.
Sting, and Ric Flair. All were Impact Wrestling people before they made up with WWE again. It's like you look at
Yeah.
that picture. You look at that picture. The only people who didn't go to Impact Wrestling were Paul, Jericho, and Adam Copeland, and that's 8 people. That's 3 out of 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just and fun facts. I
Mm-hmm.
was watching. I think I was watching a random pay-per-view on Peacock Network / Dollar Store WWE Network, and I think it was like a Cyber Monday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it, and I was telling myself, I was like, Tony Khan must have watched this when he got into wrestling, because every match had basically everybody who signed to AEW now.
Yeah.
It had, I think, it had Jericho. It had Ric Flair. I think RVD was in there. I think some other WWE guys who've been the AEW. It's just like everything he ever wanted from AEW was on this random Cyber Monday pay-per-view from like 2011. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, on with the show.
Over 50 years old. 8. Letting CM Punk go was a big mistake as ratings are now low and AEW is struggling to sell
Oh,
tickets.
CM Punk.
9. AEW is very disorganized, as seen with them not having a ride ready for their biggest star CM Punk for All In London, forcing him to find his way to the stadium in a foreign country. 10. Tony Khan is afraid to hand his big stars losses, so he books his big stars conservatively,
Right.
which is a problem.
Pause, Jay.
11. Tony Khan's
No, yeah, I do agree with that. It's like about the booking decisions, about not letting anybody. All the big names have got to win, but that means all the lower guys have got to be booked like jokes, and then all of a sudden we have to take them seriously. Like, I can't tell you, like, I think Brian Cage only had like, I think I looked it up, like in 2022, I think he had like 20 some odd matches on TV, and I think he only won like 3 of them or something like that. But yet they pull him out every week, and he's supposed to be this big threat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you got to let him win. Like, hell, the backlash for Jay White not winning against MJF,
Mm-hmm.
that made a lot of people be like, "What the hell's going on?" Because you have MJF, who's basically a one-legged man during that match, who's already beat up, and you have a fresh Jay White,
Mm-hmm.
who's already a credible threat from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in, they have their match, and then Jay White loses. And so it's just like, what was the whole point? Why did you build him up so much just to have him lose? You could have just had the match and just had him lose then and there. And now it's like, You built all this storyline up, and then you just couldn't stick the landing. Like, it's okay for the titles to change hands. It's okay for the big stars, the fan favorites to lose. That's what makes wrestling wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody was just like, if everybody stopped caring once somebody was a champion, then it would be a lot boring. It'd be a lot more boring sport. Because, like Adam Page, a lot of people talked about the Hangman. Like, his run up to his championship was better than his championship reign. So it's like, it's okay for people to lose because then they can have that whole build up and then have that payoff. Yeah, not every championship reign's going to be spectacular. But if you build up the anticipation and the drive
Mm-hmm.
and the want for people to watch, then yeah, it's like, if that's how you get people to tune in, how you get people to get over. Like, you don't, you can give them all the catchphrases, merchandise you want, but yeah, people want to cheer underdogs. Like, they're cheering, they're cheering for MJF now, but give them a couple more months, then they'll start wanting him to not be champion anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of like, they almost ran into that problem with Orange Cassidy. Like, when he was the international champion the first time, like, it was getting to the point where it's just like, all right, you're not gonna have. He's not losing to anybody. He doesn't have any credible. He's beaten every credible threat,
Uh-huh.
and you're not having an interesting story like having any of the best friends turn on him or leave him or any of that. So it's just like, they're getting to that point where people are just getting tired of seeing Orange Cassidy. And granted, he was beat up, and truth be told, he should have went home and rested up, but he decided to stay on TV, which is his prerogative. But yeah, they had to get John Moxley to make the title scene more exciting. It's just like, that's that corner you don't want to book yourself into. That's kind of where WWE is now with the Roman Reigns. It's like, he's lost to LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and it's like every other big name who's getting all the big pops that could have dethroned Roman Reigns didn't. And so now, who's going to be the one to beat him? Because who do you have left? And that's what AEW runs into sometimes. Who do you have left to beat MJF?
Hmm.
Yeah. Just my thought process on that is, it's like, you don't want to book yourself into a corner like that because it
Yeah.
gets hard to get out. It gets hard to
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then, go ahead.
no, I was gonna look at this point right here.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan Twitter fingers.
Yeah, he's got in trouble with a lot of different tweets.
This week, 2 active decades-long rating streaks from 2 great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS and WWE on USA, neither John Cena nor The Undertaker have been on a WWE show with under 1 million total viewers, plus under 400,000 in the demo.
I assume he means the key demo of 18 to 35 men.
Probably.
Yeah. Which is that key demo everybody wants. But, yeah, and that's one of the calmer tweets. Like, he's tweeted that Big Swole, when she left and complained that she didn't get a proper push, he basically is like, he pulled wasn't the reverse racism card, but basically preemptive reverse racism card, if you want to call it that, saying that the reason she didn't get pushed is not because of the color of her skin, because we have so many other different minorities here at AEW who are running the board or whatever. But she didn't get pushed because she was a bad wrestler. But it's like he signed her to a 2-year contract. So like that just makes you look bad, Tony. So yeah. And then yeah. And I guess since we saw it, your thoughts on CM Punk leaving?
Uh, I want to. I would like to know exactly what. Like I had, the rumor mill spreadeth what actually happened to cause CM Punk to get fired, but
Right.
like I want to know what actually happened to where Tony Khan was like, "Listen, you gotta go, man," because you don't
Well,
want to hear yet another podcast where CM Punk sits there and is like, "Well, they fucking got me in a backstage and they called me and Tony Khan was like, look, Punk, you're acting like a fool, and you can't be doing that. And it's not professional, and I gotta let you walk." And I don't like that. And then Punk's like, "Well, fuck you. Like your company shit. Go back to WWE." And you know, Seth Rollins already doesn't like him.
right.
Was it another? What's the who's the other guy? Um,
Well, McIntyre left as soon as his music hit, basically.
um, I thought McIntyre had an injury.
Well, it's always rumors, but the rumor was that he left as soon as he left the ring. He threw on his jacket, grabbed his bag, and even just drove to his hotel to even get out of his wrestling gear.
Wow. So he was just like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah, because I think even though the rumor mills were going and everybody pretty much knew he was going to be, well, nobody knew, but they all thought he was going to be there. I'm sure nobody told the talent that he was going to be there. So it was just a surprise to them as it was to everybody else. And that's probably why we got some of the reactions we got, because Seth's like, what the hell? And I'm sure Drew McIntyre is just like, this is another, he's still trying to keep himself in main event status with something to do. And now all of a sudden CM Punk's here and he's got nothing. Now, soon he'll have nothing to do and he'll be back in catering again. And to answer your question, from what I gathered from all the different stories and sources I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
is that they were that CM Punk was enacted help with Tony Khan enacted a bunch of the rules for AEW, like no head chair shots, no bleeding unless there's a reason or you get permission or whatever. And one of them I think was no unnecessary like glass spots, like the glass, like a glass or real glass spot. You just get some fake glass. And so Jack Perry, I think, wanted to do a real glass spot. Punk said, "Hey," he probably, knowing CM Punk, he probably didn't approach him the right way. except for I'm sure what I'm about to say is 10 times better than how he probably said it. He was just like, hey Jack, take it from me, it's not worth your risking your body for a stupid glass spot either, so just forget it or just use some fake glass. And they were like, and I think Jack Perry blew him off. I'm not sure what the glass spot was, but anyways, they went on. Then at All In London, he had that thing where he pulls the car out, taps on the glass, is like, hey, it's real glass, and then proceeds to get thrown into it. And then, oh yeah, he said, it's real glass, cry me a river. And then after the match, he went backstage. Punk was in the gorilla position and already waiting to go out there for the next match. And so Perry and Punk are face to face. I think Perry says, what's up? You want to do something about it? Or maybe Punk said, hey, I didn't appreciate that. And Perry, anyway, but Jack Perry was like, what's up? You want to do something about it? Trying to punk him out, to punk out. So Punk shoved his face, kind of pie faced him. And then I think Jack may have pushed back, may have taken a swing. CM Punk started putting his hands around his throat, choking him. Samoa Joe broke him up. I think Tony Khan was probably was in gorilla position. I think he may have said something to Punk. Punk kind of just looked at him and kind of started heading his direction, but I think Samoa Joe cut him off again, or somebody else, to make him cool down. And then that was, from what I gathered, that was it. Like, it wasn't that big of an incident, but it's what made Tony Khan said, I feared my life, and why Jack Perry got his indefinite suspension and not fired. And then they had the disciplinary committee, and which rumored has it Brian Danielson was was on that committee to let CM Punk go. So yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. So basically, both were in the wrong, but I guess because with Punk's record, with the brawl out, with the brawl out history, they were just like, oh, and with him trying to, I wouldn't even say weeping. I'm not even sure what actually happened. We'll find out one day. But him heading towards the direction of Tony Khan with the intent to fight him made Tony Khan just cut his contract. And that's how we got here today. So, people will say Jack Perry was the instigator. He should have been the one that got punished the worst. But which I also see. But I also see Punk. Punk's a 40-year-old man who's been wrestling for 20 years.
Like, he should know better.
Yeah. If he wants to be a locker room leader like he was trying to be at AEW, then he needs to practice what he preaches. He can't fight everybody who gets in his face about something when he can just cooler heads have to prevail there. So yeah, he should have known better, and Perry should have, kept his mouth shut. Well, onward and upwards.
Here we go.
Rants on Twitter are quite honestly embarrassing, and he seems more like a petulant child crying on the internet because he doesn't get his way. 12. Fellow YouTuber and AEW fan Tranquilo Club revealed that Tony Khan reached out to him to get booking advice. This is the problem with Tony Khan. 13. Tony Khan's huge announcements are getting out of hand.
I do hate to
Some of the
huge
stuff that he
announcements,
announces can just be tweeted out. 14. Tony
For
Khan
reals.
can't get a hold of his talent. This is seen with the many backstage fights in AEW.
Yeah, we just talked about all this.
Tony Khan is too nice and wants to be one of the boys so bad. This results in people taking advantage of him. 16.
Yeah.
AEW lied about the all-in Wembley attendance. They said that the attendance was over 80,000, while the English government said that the attendance was around 72,000. Very WWE move. 17. 3 shows is way too many shows. Everything
I don't
besides
agree that 3
Dynamite
shows is
doesn't
way
feel
too
like
many.
necessary
I think they need
viewing.
to spread them out a little bit more. Because you got Rampage and Collision are right next to each other. Not to say they need a Monday show, but they probably could get away with doing Dynamite on a Tuesday, and Rampage on a Thursday, and doing Collision on keeping it on a Saturday.
Yeah, I can see that.
And they would have no competition still. They did Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and it would spread it out. Because it's right now, it's like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. It's all back to back to back. And then you get a Sunday pay-per-view. It's like, it's a lot of AEW in a little time and space.
Yeah. That I can see. I see your point.
Yeah.
Besides Collision once in a while. 18. AEW's crowds are getting emptier by the show. 19. On top of the empty crowds, the crowds are much quieter in comparison to the AEW between 2019 and 2021. 20. AEW tours in the same places constantly, and where's also the novelty of AEW?
Yeah, they do need to tour out more.
Come to Reed Arena. Come to Reed. Hey, AEW. Hey, AEW. Hey, AEW. Come. Hey, AEW. Hey, AEW. Come to Reed Arena. Come to Reed. Hey, come to Reed Arena.
Yeah, because how many times in 1 year have they gone to Chicago?
More times than I can count, actually.
Yeah, it's just like, it feels like they're there like once a month. It's like, yeah, like you've saturated that whole Chicago. That whole Chicago audience is now, it's like, oh, there's an AEW here every month. Like they don't need that. They don't have that novelty anymore. Like they only come down to Texas like once every 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're going to Canada. That'll give them more of a crowd because, but yeah, like they do Long Island, Chicago, Jacksonville. I would say Dallas. Too much, or Garland, wherever they Garland or Richmond, Richland, whatever they claim is Dallas. Let's see where else.
The DFW area.
Yeah, the DFW metro area. I think one other like New England spot. But yeah, like Atlanta, they hardly ever go to, which is home of WCW, which has still to this day has a huge wrestling crowd. Like San Antonio's, they come here like once or twice a year, maybe once a year, maybe twice. San Antonio has huge wrestling history. Hell, they could go up to Amarillo. Amarillo's got huge wrestling history. Like they need to be going to like where all those territory places where wrestling like still kind of lives to this day. They need to be hitting up all those spots, which they are with Chicago and Long Island, New York, but they're missing they're missing all deep south. They're missing Texas. They're missing the West Coast, Pacific Northwest. Like, I think they had the Midwest covered because I think they also do like Dayton, Ohio, and all that jazz. So like they have the Midwest covered. It's time to get out of the Midwest and New England.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why their crowds are getting so small because these people are like, oh, I just paid $300 and I was there the other week. It's like I don't need to go again. Nothing's changed.
In these cities. 21. AEW's ticket prices are quite high considering their product isn't that hot. They've reduced their prices, but it's still a problem. 22. AEW ratings have been suffering in 2023
The
and
ticket
it's
price
just
is
getting
no
worse.
joke, though.
23. When AEW and NXT went head-to-head in October of 2023, NXT beat AEW in the ratings. Granted, NXT had a very stacked card with top
That
stars,
was an
it's still
Undertaker John
embarrassing
Cena
for
thing.
AEW. 24. AEW haven't hit 1 million viewers on Dynamite since February of 2023, and it doesn't look like that will change for a while. 25.
Damn.
Battle of the Belts episodes are a flop. Title changes rarely ever happen, and it tanks in ratings. 26. AEW are moving to monthly pay-per-views, which isn't a bad thing, but $50 a month for a pay-per-view is outrageous, considering WWE does the same but for $10 a month. 27. AEW still don't have a streaming service like the WWE network, even though Tony Khan has promised it for years. 28. Storylines in AEW are lacking and not good enough. 29. Booking has no continuity. Stars get a push then disappear for weeks on end, thus diminishing their momentum. 30. Tony Khan booked Kenny Omega vs MJF on 3 days notice on free TV in front of 3,500 fans and 470,000 viewers on TV. AEW could have made much more money from this match, but Tony Khan was booking just to pop a rating. 31. The booking of the women's division has been a problem in AEW since day one, and it's basically the same to this
women's division. Let's talk about the women's division.
Yeah.
Granted, that's an old picture because Brandy Rhodes is on there.
Yeah.
And Big Swole. But I'm thinking the majority of these girls are still employed by AEW, except for Bunny. And I think also.
Wait, the
Carly
Bunny is
left.
not there?
Yeah, I think she was quietly released a couple months back. Maybe 2 months back. But yeah, everybody else is still on the roster.
Why is Aubrey Edwards there? She's a ref.
No clue. Let's see.
And where the hell is Britt Baker?
That's what Britt Baker is wondering.
It's not good when you can say, where the hell is X person? X person's wondering where X person is.
Yeah, because she had a subtweet about I think like Edge and MJF had like 7 and 11 minute promos in one night on Dynamite, and she's like, the total promos I've done in 2023, 0. Total minutes I've done are 0.
0.
Yeah, because I think at first she was injured, but now, I think she's just suffering like everybody else at AEW when you have nothing to do for you, sit in the back. Like, because I know Yuri Sakai, who's way in the back there, and we featured her on the Josie episode.
Like, oh my God.
Like, I know she was injured, but I also know she's not injured now because I've seen her wrestling recently. So her, Rio, let's see. Yeah, like, actually, if you look at the picture, like half of those girls
are not even there.
Have gone on to do other stuff.
I've seen, what was it, the librarian lady?
Oh yeah, when starts with a B, I can't remember what it is. Beva, whatever it is. Or Leva Belvin or something.
Leva Bates.
Leva Bates, thank you. I knew it was something like that. Yeah. But, yeah, I know she's back on Independence. I think Brie Presley, who's right there by Nyla Rose, she's in a WWE and NXT now. Penelope Ford had a miscarriage in 2022, and I don't think she's come back since. But
no, she came back.
Oh, well, yeah, well, off and on because
She's skipping
I
around with her
with
man,
Kip with
Kip
Kip Sabian.
Sabian, who is
Oh,
still
good.
streaming on Twitch, by the way.
But don't mention wrestling to him.
I no wonder, dude.
Yeah,
I put in a chat one night. I was like, "What did you think of like AEW All Out or was it AEW uh uh the latest pay per view?"
right.
Said nothing.
Yeah, because I think one of the OFs, the OSW podcast guys, he also streams on Twitch, and I think he rated Kip Sabian back in the early days of AEW,
Uh huh.
back when Miro showed up.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and I think he rated his Twitch channel, and Kip Sabian made a special point to say, "Hey, just don't ask me about wrestling." and and OSW guys like, well, okay then. I guess I have no reason to be here then. And he was just doing it just to be cheeky, because he's like, oh, this guy, he's an AEW wrestler, and he's like, oh, well, he's streaming right now. Let's go see what he's up to. So yeah, so there's your answer. He just doesn't talk wrestling on his Twitches.
I mean, it's kind of what you do. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's what they
I
were
mean,
saying. Like
I
you
guess I
gotta
could kind of see it, but like,
you kind of gotta expect it at that point.
yeah, like it's like, if I'm sitting there,
I'm Batman.
hello, Sierra,
She's Batman apparently.
apparently,
Know it. Okay.
if I'm sitting there and let's say I'm like, I don't know, I'm like the anchor of the CBS Evening News, and I'm still Twitch
Trying to get
streaming,
closer.
and someone comes to my Twitch stream and they ask, "What's it like being the anchor of the CBS TV News?" I'm like, "Could you not ask me about that?" Like,
Yeah,
that would be stupid of me, right?
yeah.
Like, of
Oh
course I'm
yeah,
going to
because
answer that question. It's like, of course I'm going to answer that question. I'll be like, "Listen, well, it's actually pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of preparation that goes into each weeknight. I actually do stuff over the weekend. I do stuff after the show. I also tape like a small segment for the West Coast. Like, sometimes a lot of our stations see it on the West Coast tapings, things like that. Like, it's
right.
not hard. Like,
Yeah, like yeah, nobody's expecting him to give a thoughtful answer. It's just more like, hey, it's cool. I like my job. Let's go back to the game.
no one needs you to go into like a fucking video essay about every
Right.
question you get asked, but like,
It's an elephant in the room. It's like,
yeah,
So let me get this straight. Somebody asked the anchor, "What was it like being said anchor?" And he's like, "Can you just not ask about that?"
yeah, it's a wrestling guy, and he was featured pretty prominently back when this
Okay.
happened.
The anchor is
He,
just like
yeah, it's just a yeah, it's a
I was
metaphor.
using a
Sorry,
metaphor.
y'all, joining in a little late.
It's all good.
I'm about
So
to be at work, but haha, mental health.
fair enough. But yeah, so he was twitching, and another wrestling dude decided to raid his Twitch, and so he brought all these wrestling fans to his Twitch, and then he expressly said, "Hey, don't ask me about wrestling," to his now abundant number of wrestling fans who are
I
watching him.
mean, what was he doing for the stream?
He was just playing video games, which
To
I
play
like.
devil's advocate a little bit, uh, with that, So basically, my job all day, I talk to people about car insurance.
Right.
If I do that day in and day out, and I got fans from that somehow, well, I would appreciate it. I would still don't think I would want to like hear about it outside of work hours often, especially if I'm
That's
doing it
fair.
a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah, me and Jake get, but yeah, like we were saying, it's like an elephant in the
why?
room.
Did he explain why he didn't want to talk about it or
No,
ask
I
about it?
think he was just like, hey, he was just. I didn't get a. I didn't get the answer for it from the guy who did it, but it's just more like, hey, he just said, let's not talk about wrestling, and that's
Yeah.
kind of just was the end all to be all. No explanation. Just I'm not here to talk about wrestling. I'm here to play video games. Which, yeah, that's what he wanted to do. Which I get.
Yeah, then if that's what you want to do, just
Yeah,
explain that.
yeah.
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, I'm also checking my TikTok real quickly because for some reason people won't leave me alone. Or at least by people, I mean fucking minors who ignore boundaries.
And people. Alrighty, Jay. Onward.
Let's go.
We actually, now me and several other creators on TikTok that are in the community I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
uh, actually had to threaten somebody with legal action
Damn.
because they were stealing our stuff and reposting it elsewhere with the
Oh, they
accent.
were freebooting content.
Yeah, basically. Like, our content's not original, like, we get ideas and inspiration from each other, but it's still our content.
Y'all credited creators.
Yeah.
And they were freebooting.
Yeah. And half the time
This
we
day.
don't do the exact same thing as each other.
Yeah.
32. The
Like,
women of
there's
AEW don't
one
have
audio
enough
that I
TV time
did,
to tell stories or cut promos, and this affects the
where
division
everybody
negatively.
else was talking to the person that was injured. I decided to do the person that was injured and then die.
Damn.
uh, like, we tried to put our own spin on everything,
Right.
but we had to actually threaten legal action against people because they would not stop.
People ruin things.
Yeah.
Uh, which is frustrating currently in the community because we just recently, this past year, lost a valuable, or not valuable, like a beloved member of our community,
Right.
thanks to minors lying about their interactions with them, uh, which got him basically attacked by a lot of our community, which obviously us in the community, we do own that. We dropped the ball. But nah. We've been trying to do our community has been kind of falling apart since then, but we're all like doing what we can to build it back up and protect it. But Jesus Christ, people do ruin things.
Ain't that true?
And for a lot of the people that have been causing the issues, they're minors. They act like it's a big old game. Which, newsflash, not. This is real life. You have actions have consequences. Anywho,
Truth.
that's what I've been doing. I'm gonna click on Jay's stream. Not enough TV time for women's division.
Yep.
Oh, I have been seeing a lot about a female wrestler, Rhea, uh,
Uh,
top,
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley,
oh
yeah,
yeah, Rhea. Yeah.
Rhea. Dude, she looks like she could fucking bench press my ass, and I'm 270 something pounds.
Well, I
She
think she
could.
can.
Like, god damn.
Yeah, she works out almost.
Scary.
She works out almost every day weightlifting
Mm-hmm.
and working legs, arms, and back.
Shit. I wish she could be my personal. Actually, no, that sounds like a bad idea. I was gonna say I wish she could be my personal trainer. I'm like, nah, she'd probably beat my fucking ass. and I would probably just die.
Yeah, because I think even
'Cause I would die.
2019 she was not as ripped as she is now, so she's been going hardcore.
It sounds like, looks like it too.
Yeah,
She is gorgeous though.
that's what the gays like say about her.
Gays.
Yeah, the
Us
women.
pants too.
Yeah, all the women like her, one way or the other.
Yeah, she's a tough female. We
Yeah.
love seeing tough females.
She's a top.
She got me in here. Did I say that out loud? Whoopsies.
Mommy's always on top.
Hey, mommy.
You're gonna have to get through her fiance first. But
Oh,
anyway.
nope, I'm not a homewrecker. I was asked
Anyway.
them both kindly to step on me and then I'll go home.
Fair enough.
33. The women's division has so much drama backstage. There's so much bullying and politicking, and that is detrimental to the division. 34.
Well,
Tony Khan
I
is
think the
afraid
drama's
to
calmed
lean into
down a
real
little bit.
life. Vince McMahon would have taken full advantage of the all-in fight with Jack Perry and CM Punk, and would have probably played the footage of the fight on TV and turned it into a storyline. But instead, Tony Khan just fired his biggest star, CM Punk. 35. There's too much of a presence of Ring of Honor on AEW TV, considering that a large majority of the AEW fanbase doesn't watch ROH. 36. The whole interim champion thing is a mess. 37. The booking of the TNT title has been a mess. Before Christian Cage got the title had diminished in significance. 38. Getting rid of the ranking system was a mistake because it progressed storylines and made booking sense. 39. Tony Khan could benefit from having a creative team or someone qualified to help him with creative in order to add good storylines to matches. 40. AEW doesn't hold production meetings in fear of things leaking before the show, even though this is a prerequisite to put on a good TV show. And that's why there's so many production issues with AEW on TV when watching live. 41. Wrestling is supposed to be a circus. There's not enough freaks and too many guys in top positions of AEW that look like regular people. 42. There's too many dream matches in AEW and not enough story-driven matches. 43. There's a massive focus on putting on good wrestling matches, which is fair, but it's not the key to growing an audience. 44. There's a lot of fast food wrestling in AEW, filled with insane spots designed to give the viewers a dopamine rush, but is ultimately forgettable. Filet mignon wrestling is what is needed. 45. There's no performance center in AEW, and fans can tell. There's way too many botches in AEW.
Well, I mean, that's why. I mean, they should have kept Dark in Dark Elevation. Honestly, that's what they should have done. Did I lose y'all? Oh, god damn it.
To hit.
We can't hear you, and you
Okay, I can hear y'all.
can't
Hello,
hear
hello,
us,
hello.
but we can hear each other.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello,
Watch
hello.
him test his mic.
Hello, 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 hello. Yellow. Hello. It's
Hey,
me.
there we are.
I don't know what's going on. I think I'm being haunted. I don't know.
Can you hear
What
us,
the
Jay?
fuck?
Jay, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Yay.
I went through several of those points.
Yeah, I told you to pause at ROH, and it just kept going. Or like, hey, Jay, did you fall asleep, Jay? Jay,
I
pause.
opened the stream and I'm like, I don't think he knows we can't hear him, and he can't hear us.
Yeah, because I think she
No.
saw you talking.
the
Yeah.
stupid thing keeps. Sometimes what will happen is like Discord will swap my audio, and then I can all of a sudden not hear either one of y'all.
Right.
So this is great for the podcast.
Well, you just edit out that whole middle part, the part after you started it.
Oh my
But,
god.
but the
Okay.
only thing,
Where'd you
so
want me
we
to
were
go
at
back to? Let's go
was
back.
35. 35.
I went to the head.
We went through 10 spots before you realize something's off here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was entertained the entire fucking time.
Okay. 35. Too much Ring of Honor on AEW television.
V, considering that
Yeah,
a large
back-
majority of the AEW fan
Alright,
base
pause
doesn't
it.
watch ROH.
Okay. That worked that time.
Oh, yay! We have our control
Anyways.
back over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. But with that, and I just saw a recent post on Reddit about that too, is that the only thing on Ring of Honor that isn't on AEW that's worth watching right now is Athena, their women's champion, trying to fight their world champion Eddie Kingston. So like that's the most compelling storyline they have going right now. And I was like, yeah, because half the ROH roster and all their champions are on AEW. It's like none of them are featured on the Ring of Honor Fight Club paid service. It's like you have this whole website that's supposed to make money for you, and he's not utilizing it at all. Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
So like for money withstanding, like he's got all of his main stars from his Ring of Honor on the wrong show. And so it deludes his Ring of Honor.
Yeah. It definitely does. Like, they really need to figure that shit out.
Yeah, they just need to separate it like they're supposed to.
36. The whole interim champion thing is a mess. 37.
At least
The booking
they
of the
got rid of
TNT
that.
title has been a mess.
And the
Before Christian
TNT
Cage got
title's
the
been
title,
better now.
Yeah, TNT title's steep. Let's try that again. The TNT title. Fuck me.
Bible. It's that big old Bible.
No longer a title, it's a title. Okay. The TNT title has been stable. It's been what I've been trying to say. Because I can't speak English.
Hey, you finally did it. We're so proud of you.
Go fuck yourself.
Maybe later.
But yeah, you're right. Like it needed. I'm glad it's where it is now. It needed the two champions that held on to it for a while and didn't defend it much to kind of give it back its shine. Because, granted, it's a good. It was also good as a TV title, but it was also always put on somebody who never really got a push.
Yeah.
And so it's doing good now where it's getting a kind of a push. It seemed like a big title because it is, and on TV it's supposed to be a big title.
Right.
Had diminished in significance. 38. Getting rid of the ranking system was a mistake because it progressed storylines and made perfect sense.
Yeah.
39. Tony Khan could benefit from having a creative team or someone qualified to help him with creative in order to add good storylines to matches. 40. AEW doesn't hold production meetings in fear of things leaking before the show,
it's very
even though
stupid.
this is a prerequisite to
because that's
put on a
also
good
how you
TV
plan
show.
out
And that's why there's so many
camera
production
and
issues with AEW.
productions.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you don't get quick mics or random graphics popping up on your TV. Or not rolling a pre-rolled videotape for 30 seconds longer than it needed to be.
W on TV when watching
But
live.
Matthew won't have
41.
enough stuff
Wrestling is
for
supposed to be a circus. There's
Botchamania.
not enough freaks and too many guys in top positions of AEW that look like regular people. 42.
True.
There's too many dream matches in AEW and not enough story-driven matches. 43.
That's fair.
There's a massive focus on putting on good wrestling matches, which is fair, but it's not the key to growing an audience. 44. There's a lot of fast food wrestling
And
in
then this
AEW,
is where you
filled
came
with
back.
insane spots.
Because Sierra asked me what fast food wrestling was, and I was just like, oh, it's this where everything goes fast. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. Everybody's just doing things. Which,
I mean,
then,
uh,
like, I get there are some matches that need to have that, but I don't think every match needs to have that.
I did enjoy the Eddie Kingston and I forget who it was that he was fighting against on pay-per-view, and they didn't leave the ring once.
Yeah, like, yeah, and even with the example they have there with Penta and Orange Cassidy, like, those two definitely that suits their style. Like, Penta's all about big spots and
Doing
no,
some flippy dippy shit.
yeah, and no selling like him and Ray Phoenix, but that's how they got over. And with Orange Cassidy, that's how they got over too. Like, for them, it works for them, but
Yeah,
like,
it's necessary.
yeah, like, but when you get like your Adam Coles and your Hangman Pages and your Swerves, like, you don't need to do all of that. Like, there people are saying that their Texas Death Match was the best match AEW's had for a while because they kept it slow, they kept it realistic.
Oh my god, the fucking stapling, dude.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts? I looked right away for a minute.
Nipples and breast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And heads and forearms.
Yep.
Gotcha.
He gets stapled, and then he's like, "Oh, you want to staple me? I'll staple myself, bitch." Staple.
My head tried to fall off. Where the fuck? Ow! Fuck you, table.
All right. Onwards.
Designed to give the viewers a dopamine rush, but is ultimately forgettable. Filet mignon wrestling is what is needed. 45. There's no performance center in AEW, and fans can tell. There's way too many botches in AEW.
Oh, who wants to hear
46.
the dumb
The
thing I
over-reliance
did?
on hardcore gimmick matches is a massive problem in AEW,
I guess
and quite
pause,
frankly,
Jay.
there's just too much.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
I'll bite.
Is he fucking using a drumstick to...
It's skewers.
Oh my goddess. Nothing. So you know those little toothpick floss thingies?
Yeah.
I got them stuck in my teeth.
That's the complete opposite what you're supposed to do with it.
Uh-huh. I know.
How'd you do that?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why y'all always ask me how did I do fucking know? How do I do half the stupid shit I do? But I couldn't get it out without hurting myself. So my partner had to get a knife,
Y'all need scissors.
cut it out. We couldn't find them.
Well, y'all need some craft safety scissors.
Yep. And my one friend's like, well, why didn't you cut it out yourself? I'm like, do you seriously trust me with a sharp object near my face?
Yeah. It's a little harder to do when you're the one, when it's...
Plus, I mean, considering I got a freaking floss pick stuck in my teeth.
Yeah. And it's hard to, like, cut something in your mouth when you're not directly looking at it either.
Yep. So that happened. It was fun.
Always.
Whee!
Now back to the skewers.
Blood.
Back to the
47.
guy
John
trying to
Moxley
skewer
bleeds
the
way
other
too
guy.
much.
Yep.
Almost every single match he
They put a
wrestles
whole
in,
bunch of
he
bamboo
bleeds.
skewers
This
in
wears
his
off the
head,
novelty and
claps
shock
it down,
factor
and
of
then
blood.
like 3 of them
48.
stick in there.
AEW matches are
That's
too
one way
unsafe.
to make it
You have
pop, I
wrestlers
guess.
flip-flop
Yep.
flying and almost dying just to get a pop from the fans, which is unsustainable in the long run. 49. Due to this dangerous way of wrestling, there have been way too
Damn.
many injuries in
Ray
AEW,
Phoenix,
which
he's
hurts the
broken so many
product.
bones.
50. The concussion protocol is seriously lacking. You know it's bad when one of your top stars, John Moxley, is calling out the concussion protocol in AEW. 51. Bryan Danielson is a major asset in AEW, but he's fragile due to his injury-laden past. AEW have allowed him to do whatever he wants, and that's why he's had so many injuries in AEW. 52. AEW allowed Bryan Danielson to wrestle even though he had 2 fractured orbital bones, which is unacceptable. 53. Darby Allin takes insane bumps, which is awesome and all, but this sort of recklessness is what could land him in a wheelchair by the time he's 50. AEW needs to protect wrestlers from themselves. 54.
True.
Even though
Yeah.
Darby Allin is injured, he's still allowed to do death-defying stunts elsewhere, and this could seriously hurt him, which could be bad for AEW. 55. AEW even allowed Darby Allin to get a face tattoo. While this is sick on the surface, it ruins all chances for him to become a megastar in AEW. You can't have someone be the biggest star and marketer of your product.
You can always
with
just have a
face tattoo.
space paint on.
Advertisers won't allow this.
Yeah.
56. MJF used to wrestle once or twice a month, but nowadays in AEW, he wrestles 4 to 5 times a month. This overexposes him and wears the special aura of MJF away. 57. Allowing
Sorry, I
MJF
was
to
trying to
hype
think
up
of
his
someone-
contract
who someone
ending
was, and
and
I'm
him
like, oh, no,
potentially
I know
going
who
to
they are now.
WWE is a
Yay.
bad
Oh, good.
look. It makes AEW look like the little leagues. 58. It's not only MJF who buries AEW publicly, but other wrestlers do this
Yeah.
too, and it just makes AEW look really bad. 59. Letting Cody Rhodes go was a big mistake as it left a massive hole in AEW. When Cody Rhodes left, it was the beginning of the end for AEW. 60.
Yeah, and they definitely
Letting Jade
needed
Cargill
to
go
get a
was a
new
big
Cody
mistake,
Rhodes.
seeing how she's being treated like a superstar in WWE. Tony Khan should have thrown whatever amount of money she wanted so that she could stay. 61. Not signing
Also true.
Dragon Lee was unfortunate, but it highlights the problem of AEW giving one-off appearances to talent just to put them on WWE's radar so that they can sign them. The same thing happened with Cora Jade. 62. It's been reported that the AEW Fight Forever video game took about $40 million to develop. Everyone played the game
$40
for a
million
few weeks and then dropped it because of its issues. It's now on sale for almost half the price it was at the launch date. It looks like the game is a flop and is not profitable. 63. The whole WWE diehards vs AEW diehards thing is kind of cringe on both sides, but the problem with AEW diehards is that the second you criticize the product, it's like you've attacked them personally. I know because I used to be like this until I snapped out.
Do you feel attacked when I talk about
New Japan Pro
AEW,
Wrestling
Jay?
and
Huh?
Do you feel attacked when I talk about AEW, Jay?
Not really.
Yeah. I've seen that on Reddit and Facebook. Like you see the people like super defend either or, and you're like, it's just wrestling, guys.
It's wrestling.
We're all here to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to ask questions because I have no idea about anything involving wrestling. I'm just
Oh,
here
good.
to-
Let's
and
see.
to bully Jay, of course.
Well, that's
That's a given.
that's a given.
an AEW working relationship is
Ah, you love
one-sided.
me.
New Japan gets most of the benefits of their working relationship. 65. Adding the Ring of Honor belt, 19 different
Yeah.
wrestlers could have a belt on
Jay.
them at any given
I had
time in
something I wanted to
AEW,
talk-
and that's
tell
not
you
even
about, but I can't think of what the fuck it was now.
Fair enough. How many belts does AEW right now have on TV?
Let's see. World title, international title, TNT, TBS. That's 4. Tag team. That's 6. Trios 7, 8, 9. Women's world title 10. FTW title 11. So 11.
19. You're forgetting ROH.
Oh. Yeah.
They're world champion. They're television champion. They're tag team champions. They're women's champion. They're pure champion. They're all.
Your champion. I don't know.
So if they have
They're
a
all
6-man
off-
champion?
Yep, and a 6-man championship. All on AEW. So you can see in 1 month, 19 different belts.
Excuse me.
If they're gonna have Battle of the Belts, Battle of the Belts needs to have more title changes.
Yep. And that's what that guy was on about. It's like every Battle of the Belts, so it's just like
I think there at least
and,
needs to be 2 title changes each time Battle of the Belts happens. I don't care who it is, but like something needs to happen.
yeah, it's because that one's just like all those Saudi shows for WWE. It's just like it's an elaborate house show where nothing ever changes.
But
The
at
other
least they're
reason,
not going. At least they're not, you know, you know, pouring themselves out for Saudi blood money. So
true.
Damn, I'm out of coffee. I did notice that when you guys announced that you guys were going live, you mentioned 90s kids stuff.
Yeah, like
So
we
that
have.
made me think of this because I just recently started rewatching a show that I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. Have you guys heard of The Nanny?
Yes.
oh yeah,
Fucking love The Nanny. I'm rewatching it currently, and you know how ADHDers can pick up little quirks from watching people, right?
Right.
I can't stop gesturing and flailing and talking with my hands to the degree that Nanny find us.
Nice.
I've been stuck doing it since I started rewatching it, but I've missed the show.
Right.
But no, that's what I was gonna mention, and then forgot about.
Mm-hmm. You unlock the hidden quirk you had.
My dear God, I forgot how hilarious that fucking show is. And I'm still remembering why what the fuck? Niles was one of my favorite characters in the show. He is sassy. Oh, the best ways.
Fair enough.
If I start cutting out, it's because I'm going down my staircase, grab something to eat.
Gabby. Onwards.
Even considering all the New Japan belts and the indie belts that wrestlers are allowed to have on TV. 66. The tag team division used to be stacked, but now there's just a mid-tag team division and a mid-trios division. 67. This has been a problem since the early days of AEW and persists to this day. There's just too many factions in AEW. 68. AEW's booking of Wardlow has been questionable to say the least. He could have been a big star, but his momentum has been thwarted way too many times. 69. Keith Lee used to be a big star in WWE, but now he's just another guy in AEW. 70. Miro could have been a big star in AEW, especially with his Redeemer gimmick, but all the momentum with him has been lost.
How do you think Keith Lee, Miro, and Orlo's careers are going right now?
No, not good.
Not good, huh?
Oh, really good, apparently.
Keith Lee. I want Keith Lee to go for the TNT title.
Right. He could use something like that.
I want Wardlow. Well, Wardlow's on the path to just take out MJF.
Yeah, he's at least somewhat coming back.
I want MJF to be in a three-way match at World's End for the world title. But I want him to really put on fucking put some mustard on his anger, man. Make MJF understand I'm gonna fucking kill you. Do you understand me? You messed up my entire career, and I have been booked as mids ever since then, and I'm gonna kill you at World's End. I'm gonna take your title and laugh in your face in your hometown. Do you fucking understand me? And Samoa Joe, you're just there. You're just there. Understand that you're just there and in my way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could definitely benefit from that because all those guys that started off so strong, and then all of a sudden Miro disappears from TV. Warlord he's defending his title against people he's gonna beat, and then Keith Lee is off and on TV for he'll be booked real strong for a month or two, and then all of a sudden you don't see him anymore. So yeah, they all need a good.
I think Miro should be some sort of like, you know how CJ Perry's like trying to be like a agent or whatever.
Right.
I think Miro should be like um like a what's the word I'm looking for? There's a term for this.
Well, advocate ballet.
Like some sort of tester, like a um like a measuring stick to whether they should be under her management.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well,
And
I think.
then like be the man that trains these guys.
Yeah. Even though, like, they said they had too many factions, but I think they just need a different set of factions. And Miro with a bunch of young guys would probably be a good one.
And
So that way, if
then
Miro does get injured, he can hide it a little bit better.
yeah. And then CJ Perry can then manage the talent that passes through Miro's coaching.
Right.
Now that right there, that's some good booking right there.
There you go.
Let's keep going.
Due to poor booking. 71. Malachi Black could have also been a big star fighting for the TNT title and the world title, but he's been stuck in trios action for a while, and this is a problem. 72. Buddy Matthews is a killer, but he hasn't reached his potential in AEW due to him being stuck in House of Black. He was better in WWE. 73. Athena is doing some of the best work of her career in Ring of Honor, but she should be on the biggest stage of Dynamite to showcase her talents. 74. Andrade has been mishandled in AEW. He could have been one of the biggest Latino stars in wrestling, but poor booking has prevented this. 75. Action Andretti scored a big singles win over Chris Jericho, but
yeah,
AEW
did
followed up on him, and now he's just another guy.
Yeah.
76. Only bringing out Abaddon to wrestle on Dynamite once per year around Halloween is ridiculous. Either fire her or feature her more. 77. Yeah. Besides MJF, the rest of the four pillars are playing mainly side piece roles.
Second of all, has anyone ever seen Abaddon without her makeup?
I think I did once.
Does she just not like being seen without her makeup?
Well, she's living her gimmick. I think the only reason I saw her was because she was not in a wrestling ring, I think. But yeah, she just lives her gimmick where she has her face makeup on and she doesn't take it off. She doesn't do social media with it off. She lives that. She lives that.
Wiki. There's also, as someone who's, does makeup often.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pressure in society on women to look great. That could play a part in it, but it could also just be self-esteem related if it's not related to the
she has horror makeup. Like, she looks like a horror movie character.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got contacts in, and usually it's white face paint with like maybe black around the mouth, maybe blood around the crown, and she's got 2 big dimples piercings to play into it. So
Oh, I like that.
yeah, so she's very much a, and that's how she plays it off, as she's a kind of like a horror movie villain, like
Okay,
you're
probably more than likely, definitely.
yeah, like she's like your American The Ring lady.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So yeah, she very much likes living that way, because not living that way, but for her wrestling gimmick, that's how she wants to do it.
Seems like the 4 pillars are there to hold up all the talent. 78. Watching anything to do with Matt Hardy is quite honestly painful. Get him off our TV screens. 79. Jeff Jarrett should not be featured on AEW as much as he is.
We talked
He's a
about
relic
that
of
one
the
earlier
past
too.
that should stay
Yeah.
in the past. 80. Katsuyori Shibata almost died in the ring a few years ago. There's a reason why New Japan don't allow him to wrestle for them. Something catastrophic could happen to him at any time, but AEW allows him to do whatever he
Almost
wants.
had a heart attack in the
81.
ring.
Tony
We're
Khan
like,
is
all
too
right, let's
afraid
have
to
this
fire
guy who almost had a
wrestlers
heart
as he
attack in
lets
the
their
ring
contracts run out.
wrestle for us.
He should be more ruthless in these matters. 82. Instead of firing their biggest star and draw CM Punk, AEW should have instead fired Jack Perry for the All-In London
Yeah,
Brawl.
and we talked
AEW
about that
is a
one
business
too.
at the end of the day, and Jack Perry doesn't draw like Punk. 83.
There's no
AEW
outside
let
on
Stu
the ground, and I'm
Grayson
not
go
happy about
just to rehire him a few
Brando.
months later, and then let him sit at home and suck money from AEW. This is the problem. 84.
Yeah.
Wrestlers are allowed
They
to take too much
definitely
time
need
off
to
from AEW, and this ultimately hurts the
let
product.
people go if they're
85.
just not going to use
Referees in
them.
AEW are almost non-existent. They are meant to enforce the rules, but they just let the wrestlers do whatever they want almost all the time. 86. Aubrey Edwards clearly has main character syndrome. She wants to be the center of attention so bad and get herself over, which is not what a referee is supposed to do. 87.
That's your girl.
Hold
Jay.
on, hold on. No, 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 no. Hold on, hold the fucking phone. Hold on, hold the fucking phone. Hold on, hold on. Let me tell you something. Let me.
Who's this girl?
Let's just talk. Let's just talk about this for a second.
All right.
Let's talk about this for a second. Aubrey Edwards is an excellent referee. This is what I want to see out of a referee. Male or female, I don't care. What's the dude referee? Bald head.
That's like 3 of them in AEW.
Yeah, I know.
Knox.
Yeah,
Knox.
Rick Knox. Yeah.
Rick Knox.
They're funny. They're they're not supposed to be they're not supposed to be an element that you care about in the match, but like
Right.
if they're in there, shit, give them something to do other than just call a pin or ring the bell for a submission or call for disqualification, but like shit, she's moving the program along. Like everyone is a part of the performance in the show. Aubrey Edwards knows what she's fucking doing. Let her do what she's got to do. Don't fucking hate on Aubrey Edwards, you asshole.
I see why you said what you said now.
Yeah. That being said, Jay, you'll find that many current and past wrestlers, and even referees, like forget his name, Michael. What's his face? Not Cheadle. He's from a WWE. I forget his last name. Starts with a C though. He's the prominent guy who was there forever until they fired him during the pandemic.
Mike Chioda.
Chioda, that's it, Chioda. Even Mike Chioda has said, not about her specifically, but just talking refereeing in general, is that, yeah, you're part of the show, but you're just supposed to be, you're not even a background dancer. You're just you're like in the band in the back. You're just there to help everything. You're supposed to add flavor, but nobody's supposed to be noticing you. And so if somebody's noticing you, then you've done something horribly wrong. But I do get what you say. Like, yeah, like it's because with Rick Knox, he's the guy who kind of started that in California. They always involved him in wrestling. He would take bumps. They would let him do moves on wrestlers. It's like, and it made the California scene like a little bit. It made it that much better, and it makes AEW that much better. But I have seen it where it can be too much. So I would not say don't say don't let her do anything, but I would say reel her back a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I know that's your girl.
Whatever.
But yeah, I'm just saying she can reel it back a little bit.
Whatever, man. She's good.
Yeah.
Man.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Of attention so bad and get herself over, which is not what a referee is supposed
That
to
face.
do. 87. The anti-Semitic storyline involving Juice Robinson and MJF was tasteless, considering 1,400 Jews were murdered by Hamas prior to that segment.
Yeah,
88. The bad acting segment.
Yeah, I could have waited a week or two.
Oh.
Man, they definitely need like an acting coach.
Oh man, this is just like I didn't understand what that meant, but I'm guessing it's something anti-Semitic.
Well, Jewish people are known for pinching pennies and being cheap and picking up any coins they can find.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to go get the fucking cat off of the beardy dragon.
No worries, we're just talking about Jews.
Ah, okay.
Doesn't even better than I.
Dude, I'm part of two different communities that are just a bunch of fucking weirdos. This community are my friends, and the COD community.
Fair enough.
There, a lot of people in the COD community are how we say feral for the characters. So I've seen and heard a lot of weird shit. You saying that doesn't even register on the radar anymore. Good Lord.
Fair enough.
Oh my lord. What is with this fucking cat and the fucking...
Well, you named him Domino.
Yeah.
I didn't name him. I adopted him. I just didn't change his name.
Well, change it to a non-pizza restaurant.
No, like when I got him, the reason I didn't change his name when I got him was because I wasn't planning on keeping him. I didn't want a cat. My friend kind of just manipulated me into it. And then I got a cat, and now I have a cat.
It be like that sometimes.
Who is a fucking dumbass, apparently. Don't touch it! Yeah, that's what I thought. You dumbass. So he likes to jump onto the bearded dragon's tank and bop the lights occasionally. He's bopped the heat lamp.
You think that would be hot, even to a cat?
It is.
Huh? Maybe he just likes heat.
He's fine, by the way. He doesn't ever put his paw on it and hold it. He just went bop and didn't realize it was hot and ran.
No, fair enough.
I always check, usually, but at this point, he's done it so many times that I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're fine.
Lesson learned.
Fucking dumbass.
That segment. 88. The bad acting in segments is just cringe at times. The whole segment with Nick Wayne's mom was not good. 89.
Yeah.
Two black men
some
breaking
acting
into a white man's house in Virginia and cutting a promo on a baby that's unattended is so unrealistic that is quite honestly ridiculous. 90. The claimed are cool, but celebrating the 69th day of a title run is just plain silly. It feels kinda like a bad middle school joke at this point. Why would this incentivize viewers to tune in? 91. Even though their promo went off script and they began shooting, Edge calling Ricky Starks a vanilla midget version of The Rock is just too far. Comments like that can bury a young talent. 92. Powerhouse Hobbs' TNT title reign was largely forgettable due to bad
Yeah.
booking, but AEW should have went
Yeah.
all in on him because he could be a
But at
huge
least he's
star
come
for the
back.
future. 93. Excalibur speeding through announcements on commentary to the point that
He
his
was
Yeah.
able to get
was
through
amusing at first,
all
but it
that
just gets a bit
crap in like
ridiculous
10
after a while.
seconds.
Give the man more time. 94. AEW has been in negotiation with Warner Brothers for a couple of months now for a new TV deal, but negotiations have been stalling due to AEW's recent
That's gonna
slump.
suck if they don't get it.
AEW is not concerned with growing their audience. They're more concerned with pleasing their hardcore fan base. 96. AEW have lost the revolutionary feel that they had in the early days of AEW, and it just feels like another wrestling show. 97. AEW are having an identity crisis. They used to be
Well,
like
we talked
NXT on
about the
steroids, but now they are a
TNT,
mix of late
TNA,
stage
and
WCW
Impact.
and 2010's TNA. 98. AEW is not the alternative anymore. They are conforming to the WWE way of doing things, and this is hurting them. 99. AEW is just not the same product that we all fell in love with. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please check
Alright,
out other
Jay, do you
videos, and
agree?
also please like.
Is AEW the same as it was in 2019?
Honestly, I think that AEW is still the AEW that I knew in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are some things that can there are definitely some things that can be improved.
Right.
But honestly, I still watch a pay-per-view on AEW television, and I still remind myself why I love professional wrestling. You know,
Yeah,
I just don't get that feeling anymore when I watch WWE.
that's fair. Yeah, because I would say AEW has changed since 2019. Some for the better, some not. It is kind of getting a little not bland. Well, bland would be a bad word, but more predictable. And granted, most of wrestling is kind of predictable, but still, I think if they followed some of this advice and kind of just let their TV programming not be as great as their pay-per-views, then I would definitely get more eyes on their pay-per-views, which would get them more money. But if they're just looking to get more eyes, period, then I would, for them, just get rid of the pay-per-views. Or if you, if you want to do something, maybe do like, utilize YouTube and do like a members only stream where yes, members only stream for not even pay-per-view style wrestling, but like, say, I don't know why they ever got rid of, well, they got rid of Dark and Dark Evolution when they were the most at their least favorable, because basically it would be one AEW talent and local talent, and you know who was going to win. But if they go back to the way Dark used to be, where it was just to show the matches they couldn't put on TV because because they didn't have enough time. I think if they went to that, but they like do Dark with the talent that isn't the main eventers, give them more TV time, but on YouTube, and then like have their TV time, and then for these members only streams, they can do. That's when they can put, all right, here's Kenny Omega versus Action Andrade, or Jericho versus let's say Ricky. Well, not Ricky Starks because they wrestled before. Like Jericho versus like Buddy Matthews or something. Something you don't normally see. Like not those dream matches that they want to put on Dynamite. They could put those on membership only stream, and like if they do more online stuff, I think that would build up more of their audience, because that's kind of where it's all coming down to. They gotta have a strong, and they do have a strong social media presence. I think they need to cater more to getting more eyes on their social media presence.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would say it's not the same for me, but yeah, like I said, there's room to work with. It's not dead in the water, but it just, for me, it just doesn't feel the same. But yeah, but that was the 99 problems with the AEW, Jay.
Yeah. I think it was very well covered. I think he was wrong about Aubrey Edwards, but
Yeah,
I think it was very well covered.
yeah,
Um,
right. Or I guess for a level-headed discussion about AEW, I think that's probably the best you're gonna get,
yeah,
because there are people who are not fans of Audrey Edwards, who don't like her. I guess not being a part of the ring, not being just part of the ring, but being her own spectacle. And there's people who like you who enjoy it, that find it as much as part. It's a good part of AEW. So yeah, but I think this is about as close as a level-headed discussion about what's the criticisms you can have towards AEW, as you're probably ever going to get from somebody on the internet.
yeah. Yep, I think that covers about all of it.
Yeah. It only took us 2 hours to go through 13 minutes.
Right?
I figured it would.
All right, folks. Ugh. We'd love to know what you think about everything that you heard us talk about here. Um, we thank you for listening. For those who watched live, we thank you for watching us live. If you're
And we thank
listening, huh?
and we thank Sierra for showing up. Mm-hmm.
We're glad she showed up. I'm probably going to play some games off air. For those of you
Good.
watching live, don't worry. I'll be back later tonight for jjlunfiltered Saturday night. It's Wonder Weekend. We'll be playing.
And I'll be here to torture him again.
Of course you will. We'll be playing some Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Whoop whoop.
Um.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shush. So
So.
I think with that in mind, I thank y'all for joining us all. I swear to God.
Yes.
I thank y'all for joining us here on this broadcast. Please, if you're listening on Patreon, leave a comment. Tell us what you want us to cover next time. If you're
tell 'em what you
listening,
want to next time.
if you're listening us on the podcast platform of your choice, definitely let us know what you want us to listen to or talk about next time. We'll talk about it, probably,
Oh yeah, he'll
maybe.
talk about it. Oh, probably, maybe. I don't know. He might.
And for those who wanted the 90s nostalgia part, I always have that as a backup. So until we utilize that card, it'll always be in Jay's back pocket. And so we will always have a chance to go to the 90s.
It's in my back pocket.
Time travel.
It's on my back pocket. It hurts. It's big. Until then.
Well, maybe don't sit on it.
Oh my God. Until then, Until
Sorry,
then.
my cat scared me.
That's karma.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you should name your cat, Karma.
I already had a mouse named Karma that was supposed to be a girl, but turned out to be a boy and got 2 of the other girls pregnant.
That is Karma.
Oh yeah. Until then, I'm Jay Jones.
Explanation.
The morbid lady Nikki.
And we are the Pixelated Men.
Pixelated people,
And
because there's a
chronically
woman.
Yeah.
I'm
Close
chronically
enough.
exhausted. I don't know about you two.
We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.